Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is No Lesser Thing. Our passion is to see your life transformed by the power of God. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the dangers of critical thinking. Be careful, people, with your critical thinking. It's dangerous. Look at, we got a little bunny out there. So anyways, right now I'm getting ready to cook up some steak on the grill. Got some corn on the cob going. Can you say hi?
Cheese.
We wanted to get Chipotle, but we decided to make it at home. So I got some delicious steak here that I'm going to be making. A little bit of rice, easy to make. You know, throw some little salad on there. We got some avocado. Amber's going to make some guacamole. It's going to be delicious. Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good. And then we're gonna talk about don't be so critical. We're all definitely guilty of being overly critical of others. And maybe not just people we know, but critical of other ministries, critical of things that we see on TV, critical of movies, critical of musicians. I think we're all probably just a little too critical.
Right now, that's why.
Why don't you want to be in this right now? Because you're critical of yourself?
This year, this has been remarkable.
LSU 9-0, number 1 in the AP and coaches poll.
Yeah, he's remarkable. He's a remarkable thrower. Do you believe that? He didn't throw the ball. Why didn't he throw the ball? He should have thrown the ball. He's an 80% guy. The first play of the game.
One of their three premier wide receivers.
Burrow checks it down over the middle. Short game, but enough for a first down.
What was that?
Marshall.
Heisman Trophy winner?
Only played 6 games.
Please.
The 7th game was injured. Of all those receivers, he is the most impressive looking.
Everybody's impressive, but nobody's playing.
Sophomore of the Bossier City.
This is weird. They have no defense. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's it. Chiffon fingers. black. It's the only way to drink coffee. Sugar? Cream? No. Black. That's cool.
Hey dear, are you going out to the store?
Yeah.
Great. Guess what? With this book, it's going to be such a great thing if I have Starbucks, and Starbucks just opened today. So, if you could just get me grande white chocolate mocha, 1 pump raspberry for Mother's Day, you know, it makes it kind of pink, 1 pump of vanilla, and 2 pumps of caramel. And I'm trying to watch my weight, so we can do skim milk, and definitely whipped cream though, because you know, that doesn't really matter too much. And maybe if they have little sprinkles, you know, something special for Mom's Day. Is that okay?
I only go to Dunkin' Donuts. Oh man, this guy is going so slow. What an idiot! Whoa! You see how fast that guy was going? He is a maniac! What? Unbelievable! People, nobody in the whole entire world knows how to drive except for me. This weather sucks. America! Dodge. A real pickup truck. Everything else sucks.
Okay. Yeah, this mascara. I think this mascara will help my eyes to look more awake. I just look so dead right now. Oh my gosh, my hair. Whew, okay, it's terrible. It's staticky. And, yep, the lipstick, okay. This is the best it's gonna get. This is one of those days. This is the best it's gonna get.
Oh yeah, I look good.
You know, Amazing Grace, it's a sweet song. You know, just he saved a wretch like me. It's true. But, I mean, this is played at funerals all the time. I don't want to constantly be thinking of that. And it's just, I love the music that's like really deep, and it just is simple, and it just expresses who I am more, like Bethel. Just really want something that's like more charged up, you know, like not something you play at a funeral. Come on.
I don't understand why people like this. Where's the scriptures? This music is just so simple and repetitive. Wolves in sheep's clothing.
What you got there?
Since you don't go to Starbucks, I went. Happy Mother's Day to me.
Mother's Day is not till tomorrow.
You know what? It's every day. Right, Moms?
Then every day's Father's Day.
True. I would have gone to Dunkin' Donuts for you. And I do.
Thanks, dear.
We won't be too critical of each other right now. Sorry, we're kind of ruining the video.
You are amazing, and I can understand why you would like Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. What am I supposed to say? You're
What?
amazing too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. And
I can understand that you don't necessarily have the best coffee taste, so you would like Dunkin' Donuts.
let's try that again. You can,
It doesn't matter if you like Dunkin'
Yeah, it
Donuts.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts,
Ladies, if
Starbucks.
you go to Starbucks, get the raspberry. Just 1 pump. The other stuff is too excessive, of course. It's good.
Anyways, we all like different things. We all have different perspectives. One thing I was thinking about is it's all a matter of your perspective. And sometimes I think we get stuck in our own perspective and become very critical of others. Like the armchair quarterback who probably can't even throw a football 20 yards, yet he seems to be able to know how to tell multi-millionaire football players, superstars, how to play the game of football. And the driver who thinks that everyone that is faster than him is a maniac, and anyone that drives slower than him is an idiot. Hey, now, I'm working on it. I'm in process. But it doesn't matter who you are as a driver. I think most people feel that way. You see somebody go faster than you, you're like, wait, that guy is out of control. You see somebody slower than you, you're like, oh, please, come on, speed up.
There's also people who drive that just don't pay any attention like me, unless someone flips me off or something. Then I start to pay attention, but I'm probably that person that people might be annoyed at.
Well, either way, but the point being that it's a matter of perspective, because one driver or another driver, one drives faster, one drives slower, they probably both feel the same way about other drivers. They don't know how to drive. But who's right or who's wrong? Maybe nobody's wrong. It's just a matter of perspective. And I think that we can become very critical of each other and critical of other organizations, or critical of movies, critical of musicians. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Like, whole YouTube ministries I've seen that are devoted to bashing other ministries, which I can't understand. It's like, what good are you doing other than tearing out other people down? Now, I know, we're supposed to be wary, have our eyes open, but at the same time, I feel like we as a society have just become too critical. So I just wanted to, talk to you guys about being critical, and is it really helpful? A lot of it I don't think is helpful. Now, some of that stuff is just fun. You're watching a football game, it's fun to get excited about it. But I just wanted to prove a point, of how we can become very critical. Like, my truck that I drive, my truck brand is better than yours. The type of guitar, I play only Gibson guitars. You play Fenders? No, you're a loser. Whatever it is, your coffee brand. It's like, let's not be so critical, because it's just coming from a point of view. And some of that stuff is just kind of innocent and surfacey. But other stuff, it can hurt others as we're critical. And it could hurt you. Maybe it comes, because you're insecure. Maybe that's why you're so critical of others. And is it helpful? I see this happen in churches. And this could be a bad representation of churches to people that maybe aren't believers, where we're like, well, my church is the only church that really knows what's going on. And, I just don't feel like that's healthy. But it happens a lot, and it happens in every type of, arena, whether it be, judging other churches or judging coffee brands.
I think the other thing that I was thinking of was, sometimes as women, but also men do this, you can be very critical of what someone struggles with. Like, if I don't struggle with drinking, or if I don't struggle with anxiety, then I look at other people like, oh, and it makes me feel better. But we all have our areas, and so that's also something that I feel. And I'm thinking of a specific example of something a few years ago that someone actually said, who was a Christian, and they didn't mean anything harmful, of course. Most of us, maybe when we're being critical, don't mean to really cut people, but they were like, well, I don't struggle with fear, and I don't know how people can struggle with that. And I was thinking in my head, I struggle with fear.
And meanwhile, that person probably might struggle with something else, like
Right.
overeating.
Right.
So like, that's a good point, that we need to just be, it's like when Jesus said, you who have no sin, go ahead. You can be the first one to cast a stone. It's like, he's kind of saying the same thing, like, we all need to take a look at ourselves and not be so judgmental of someone else. I was at my dad's earlier today, and he made a good point too. Like, critical thinking, like the actual definition of critical thinking is thinking about things that are critical. So let's stop critical thinking and start critical thinking. Let's think about things that are truly important. Like, how can I help my neighbor in a way that's going to reveal God's love to them? Or how can I build up my spouse? How can I help my boss make more money instead of tearing my boss down or tearing down my spouse or getting angry with my neighbor, you know. And this is a behavior pattern that can extend into other things like, you know, tearing down organizations, ministries, movies, bands. If it isn't really healthy or helpful, maybe we shouldn't be saying it at all. Understandable that we have our own opinions, but let's really start to reevaluate, you know, is it healthy? Is it helpful? And if it isn't, maybe we can just a little bit at a time learn how to become more productive with our words.
I agree. Sometimes we really are critical towards other people in the simplicity of that. And we want to be more for something than against something.
Yeah, let's talk about what we're for a little bit more than what we're against. I'm for Jesus. And I'm for family and standing up for what's right and living with integrity. You know, overall, you know, just loving one another, and that's what I'm for. Now, I'm not getting it. I'm not perfect. I got a critical mouth at times too, but I just feel like this is something that God was pressing on my heart, and I wanted to share with you guys. Like, let's just, let's stop the critical thinking and start the critical thinking. What's really critical?
One other thing is, and I feel like I say that a lot, one other thing.
One more thing.
That's also, I can be critical of that.
Oh yeah, don't be critical of yourself either.
Because I say one other thing a lot, and I need to just say it.
Just say it.
Just say it.
Just say it.
what you want to say. Let the words.
What are you thinking? Tell me.
God, if we think about how God looks at us and how God sees us, he doesn't actually see, he sees us as, he actually says in his word, he sees us as perfect and righteous, which is crazy, right? And for those of you that don't know Jesus, when you accept Jesus into your heart and make him Lord of your life, that's actually how he sees you. He actually paid for you to be completely forgiven. And I feel like he's showing me that more and more. So if he sees us as, even if we, which we do, we mess up, we do things that aren't right, it doesn't change the fact that he actually still sees us in light of his righteousness and what he paid for.
Right.
So he's actually always calling us up. He's not calling us out. He's not being critical of us. And really, when someone's critical of you, does it actually help you? There's constructive criticism, but we're talking about the criticism that doesn't come from that good place. And even constructive criticism, we need to be wary of at times too, I would say, because it really should call the person up, is that's ultimately God's heart.
Yeah, we definitely need to be very wary, especially when we're dealing with people that are close to us. It's one thing to be critical of your football team or what kind of truck your buddy drives, and most of that's in good humor anyways, but when we start to maybe call somebody out in our life, maybe somebody that's under us that we have authority over, we'd better make sure that we have all our facts straight. And is it really worth calling this person out? Because our words can be very hurtful.
We want to call them up.
Call them up, don't call them out. I like that. That's all I really got to say about critical thinking. And I want to focus on thinking about things that are more critical. How many times can I say that? Anyways, we love you guys, and we hope that you would subscribe to our channel, hit the like, leave a comment. Every time you guys like or comment or share, it just helps. YouTube has an algorithm, a computer algorithm that determines how they're going to share these videos. So if you guys are supporting us in that way, it's just going to help spread the message further.
Share this video too if you know anyone who maybe could benefit or has. This is a time in quarantine when I think we can be very critical, right? Let's be honest. But just to be aware of it.
Critical of the government.
Yes.
Let me out of my house. I want to go to Target. My dad calls Target Target. Well, he goes to Walmart, but if we go to Target, he's like, oh, you went to Tajay. Critical. He's thinking critical. Anyways, love you guys. Until next time, peace!